You get dropped off, and the shuttle that took you kind of drives off a little bit somewhere a little more conspicuous and just stops there. So what do y'all do?
I feel like we should find some way to either shield ourselves from these drones or take each one of them out quietly, if possible.
They're just buzzing along. They're not stationary.
Okay.
It looks like they're doing a perimeter around some of the nearby building. These are city drones. They're not his drones.
Usually the quiet types are good at thinking of something by, so I imagine you probably have an idea what you want to do. If you want to share that with the rest of us, that'd be pretty nice.
Let's see. Problem is, they're so far apart. I'm not fully used to these kind of drones. I don't know their specs, how they react to different things. If we destroy one, will that alert all the others?
Probably.
Probably.
People here are kind of touchy, so if you just start actively destroying drones, then that means someone's up to something, and they're just like, no.
We do have some, I wouldn't say explosives. Well, maybe explosives. We do have some equipment from our last mission. Anima, do you happen to have the EMPs still, or...?
Would you have them on you, or would you have just left it on the ship, though? Would you be just walking around town, walking around the resort with EMPs in your pocket?
Look, we all know how paranoid Vae is.
Actually, I have an EMP I can use. I mean, I have to get kind of close to them, but...
Because if we throw one, that'll get rid of some of them, but...
There might be a way to get your job done without alerting the drones.
Yeah, so I'd have to be within at least 30 feet of it, so... Actually, let me see.
True.
Actually,
oh, yeah, I didn't
so
remember how big that was.
Would they be alerted if I, attempted to do any kind of, psychogenic talent on them? Because I know command, so I could command...
Does command work on robots?
You'll say they're non-sentient, right? So...
Would anyone like to roll either, intelligence or investigation as you're watching these drones?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that.
See what you can glean from their behaviors.
Intelligence or investigation? That's not great. Ooh, that's a 6. Go away.
And what did everyone else get?
I got a 15 investigation.
Man, Bal's on. He doesn't know. He's not going to be thinking of that, so he... No clue.
Gotcha.
I got a 15 plus 4. I got a 19.
Alright, so, Stavias, you do notice they seem to be keeping closer to the buildings and not paying as much attention to the landing pad. Anima, as you watch them, it reminds you a lot of you've seen similar security precautions taken, and your best guess in a situation like this, as long as you are not causing a big scene or trying to break into the building or something like that, their main focus is on protecting the building and making sure no one's trying to blow anything up. So they'll react to that, but if you're sneaky about it, they probably won't really pay you much mind. It also, you do have permission to be acting, it's just if you start causing havoc, there are rules in place to keep people from causing too much havoc.
Like I said, I can release a little EMP, so if you guys was to stay pretty close to me...
Don't think
about
that
around
the
30
drones
feet,
are going
so-
to be a problem, Bal. I don't think the drones are going to be a problem. See, they're mostly focused on the building, so as long as we don't, explode anything, I think we're gonna be fine.
Alright,
That should be simple enough.
So, we're just gonna go get this person then, I assume?
Yeah.
Find some way to take him down without raising too much of a fuss.
Let's see. Well, okay, so Stavias, Bal, and I could approach him from the front and distract, and then Vae, you could sneak up behind him.
That's true, just... My only concern is that seeing Stavias and Val will make Cynfrith try to run. Or something. That's all.
There's not very many places he can run to. We're pretty isolated here. And if he does try and run, I have a number of talents that could potentially hold him in place.
We can definitely use it as a starting plan.
Let's see why not.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright, so you all split off by going one direction while the rest of you take a more forward approach to distract Mr. Cynfrith. It takes you a couple seconds to get there because it's a wide open space. It has room for bigger ships, even though it doesn't look like it's usually used for bigger ships. So as the three of you walk around, who is going to start that conversation? How do you approach Cynfrith? As you walk up, you see he's frantically loading things, focused, kind of muttering to himself a bit, glancing behind him, glancing at the supply drones to see what they're breaking, glancing at his watch. This is a man who's ready to run.
Can I cast Beguile on him?
How close do you have to be to cast that?
60 feet? Oh, 30 feet. 30 feet.
Okay, so he'll see you before you do that.
Sure, but since we're not fighting him, it shouldn't... Since we're not, approaching in, an aggressive sense.
If they let me know what they're going to do, I can probably help with that, too. If they let me know what they're planning, I might be able to help you with that.
So sure, basically I turn to you both as we're before we round the corner to him, and I'm like, I'm going to use some of my skills to make him believe that he didn't just, abscond with mine and Bal's things like some kind of common, despicable, disgusting leech, but is instead a friend. Thus, he won't want to run. Thus, Vi can go and do whatever she's going to do, and then we can steal back our things and leave him high and dry, or throw him off of something.
I think that might interact with the no-killing rule, but we can definitely take him somewhere. Probably.
Also, Stavias, looking at the ship, this ship's actually about 30 feet long. It's not particularly big. So if you hug the corner, you'll be able to get him. As long as he's not walked off somewhere to grab something.
Cool. So then, I'm gonna try and do that. I just need to kind of have line of sight with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw as I'm casting Beguile.
He got a nat 20 to see if he notices as you come around the corner. So you come around the corner of the ship, his head snaps up and he sees you.
I'm casting it immediately. As soon as we make eye contact.
Alright.
Yeah, so he just needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright. He rolled a 12, and I don't think he's very wise, based on literally everything he's done. So, and your save is a 16, right?
Yep.
Alright, so it works. What does it look like as you cast Beguile?
So basically, my eyes turn into this bright pink, and then you know how in Men in Black they do that flash? That kind of happens with my hand, but it's a bright pink flash of light that then kind of the pink goes over his eyes for a second, and then he should feel as though I am a really good friend of his, a really good, solid acquaintance.
I'm gonna tell Anima, hey, let's stay back a bit because he might not still be with us, so let Stavias do the talking.
And meanwhile, Vi, are you sneaking around to the back of the ship, or are you hiding behind the ship? What are you doing?
I think Vi would be sneaking around the other side of the ship, just because once they have Cynfrith's attention, he should be with his back to her.
Are you getting ready to knock him out, or are you waiting to see if the beguile worked or not?
The beguile is just a distraction, not a permanent technique, so she'd probably go for an attack. Not lethal. Knock him out.
Suddenly.
Leave a little bit of time for conversation before he goes nighty-night. As the beguile takes effect, he just looks at us and says, "Oh, Stavias, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you made it."
Yes, of course I wouldn't miss seeing off my dear, dear friend. I walk up and I take his hand and I squeeze kind of as hard as I can and then kind of force myself to let go before I like try and break one of his fingers or something.
Give me a strength check.
Okay. That is... Ooh, Stavias is not
That's a good thing.
a strong kind of person. That's a 12?
Alright, so not in danger of breaking his hand, but there are imprints left on his hand. He just shakes it a little bit.
Does Beguile go away for damage?
If we are actively attacking him, then he can no longer be beguiled. I wouldn't call what just happened an attack.
I gotcha. I was just saying,
That was
like,
just
crap.
an overly friendly handshake.
Yeah, and so I just kind of look at him, very kind of calm, as chill as I possibly can be, and I'm like, "So, where are you headed with all of those things that I lent you?"
Hell if I know, I'm just looking to disappear somewhere. Heard there's habited planets not that far from here that aren't Alliance. I've already burned all my bridges there, so maybe I can start over there.
I'm sure you'll get the opportunity to do that. I don't think that anything could possibly go wrong for you at all.
I just hope I have enough money to make it. It's been a little tight since all my accounts got burned by whoever the hell hacked my computer.
Oh, that's such a shame. That's so horrible. Well, I mean, you should definitely be able to make some money with all of the things of mine that you took.
I'm just gonna roll to see if he gets the subtext here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does...
I'm gonna look at Anima. I think this is going pretty well. I mean,
He got a 9 to see if he gets that you're trying to hint at something. Yeah, I should have enough to at least last me a while before I can figure out a new way to get the business going. Just your comments about my stuff, you can hear the whistle over his head.
Great. So I kind of hold him by the shoulders, and he doesn't know it. It kind of just seems like I'm being affectionate, just to hold him in place for Vi to have a really clear shot of whatever she's going to do. And I'm like, I'm sure it will all be okay. And I just kind of look him intensely in the eye and wait for Vi to do something.
How are you going to knock him out? I will say you are familiar with this, but what method do you choose?
Yeah, that's the good question. Here's the thing, Vi has no bludgeoning weapons, so it'd be probably slashing, but I don't think you can... Oh, well...
You have metal bracers, so...
She's not gonna hurt them for this. That's not their intended purpose.
yeah, Vi and Bal should have switched.
You have a pistol, right? You could use the butt of the pistol.
Oh yeah, that's
Let
true.
it, yes.
Okay, yeah, then I'll use the butt of the pistol to knock him out.
Y'all really let the two most chaotic people be the kind of point people for this, didn't y'all?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, well,
go for it. Give me that attack roll.
Oh yeah, I just crit!
Don't need to worry about damage. You just clock him in the back of the head, and he just drops like a sack of potatoes.
into Stavias' arms. I just see him falling into Stavias' arms. Just, boop.
Stavias considers for a second just taking the neck, but then Stavias lets him fall to the ground and then reaches in his pocket and grabs his stuff.
But then Stavias looks at Bal, and Bal just gives him that look like...
Alright.
Well, so I'm just gonna grab him. Where are we going? I'm gonna use sensory jammer on myself just to make sure, like, you know, kind of knowing, like, really get like that good of a look on me, or maybe what I'm holding on to. So using some of my, I guess it's probably like drones or something like that, or little, which is like create a sensory masking effects. We can do that around myself right now. Well, actually, I'll just do it around the guy I'm carrying. So there we go.
So it just looks like you're carrying a rug. It's fine.
I want to take all of the things that are in his boat. Not just the stuff that he took from me and Bal, but everything that he has.
Ooh, does anyone have something to tie him up with, just in case? I mean, I don't know how long he's been knocked out for. Does anyone have any... I don't think I have any rope or anything.
I've got a digital game device and a woodwind instrument.
Well,
Yeah.
you got it back now.
I'm gonna say somebody probably gave you some sort of like handcuffs if you don't have anything.
Yeah. And if not, I have metallic restraints. So.
Put him on him. Yeah, but that's great. So I'll have you do that.
Who all is looting the ship?
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, of course you would check the ship.
There's like a cargo area, a bedroom area, the cockpit, and then like a kitchen, dining, everything else area. It's not big. It's like an apartment.
So Bal's been looking for stuff, mainly his Tamagotchi that he got taken. So that's the main thing.
Who's looting where?
I just want to find my Tamagotchi.
I'm gonna send a quick message to the captain, to Spectra, and be like, we have an unconscious, restrained medicine thief. What do?
Question mark.
Yeah.
That was fast. Good job. Pretty sure Atlantis authorities should be here soon, or some authorities will, to take him into custody. I think they're also impounding the ship, so...
We were told that we could keep whatever we wanted.
Vae gets a text from Spectra. If you want to loot the ship, hurry.
Okay.
I'm also looting.
Yeah, I'm looting
things.
too. Yeah, it's like, of course you loot the ship.
I'm gonna give you all a chance to loot one room to see what you find.
Bedroom.
What are the choices?
So there's a bedroom area, a small cargo hold, the kitchen, and the cockpit.
The bathroom.
There's a bathroom in there somewhere too. It's tiny.
That's where I would hide the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm fully going. I'm rifling through everything in that bedroom.
Sorry, I'm stuck between cockpit and cargo hold. Let's do cargo hold.
Okay, if
Alright.
you're gonna go cargo hold, then I will go to the cockpit.
Alright.
Would I know where my Tamagotchi might be? Because I'm just looking, like I said, I'm looking for my stuff, and that is the main thing.
Give me an insight check to see if you would know like where he would stash something like that.
Ew.
I'm just picturing this
I'm
giant
rolling.
lizard with this tiny little Tamagotchi.
I don't know. Bal, does Stavias know about your Tamagotchi?
I mean, I try to be pretty slow with, so I wait till they pass out, because then I'm just like, okay, now I can. So I wait to the most opportune time to play, because I'm still kind of not embarrassed by it, but I'm like, not something that I want everyone to know.
Can I make a check to see if I know about about Bal's Tamagotchi?
I'm not sneaky. He knows about this whole time.
I feel like with how much time y'all spent together, you probably know about it.
Like, they don't know about it yet. Bal thinks that's about. Like,
Inside.
only got 11. I'm rolling terribly.
You figures you like stash somewhere with a bunch of other stuff, or like he might not have even kept it if he doesn't realize the value of it.
Full sentimental value. Aw.
Just with that insight, but you are welcome to search a room. Can I get everyone's investigation checks, please?
Please? Okay. Alright, that's not bad.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well,
That's a 17?
18.
Nice.
it's an investigation, right? Where is that?
Yep.
Inside. Oh god. 13.
22?
Oh man. Okay, so Stavias, you were in the bedroom. You find a couple of pistols and a knife that he had stashed around. Not of any particular extra value, but they're decent quality. They're good to have. You find like some of his ledgers. You find some kind of odd books from rather odd genres hidden under the bed, like he didn't want anyone to know he was reading it, because it's an interesting niche.
It's fan fiction. Just kidding.
Omegaverse.
Chuck Tingle.
You are able to find all of his nice belongings, and I'll say you probably are able to find, like, he actually put most of your clothes in his closet.
Ooh.
Yank them down.
Meta question: did anyone get the sci-fi bag of holding? The whatever they called it?
Oh,
okay.
We didn't talk about it, so we have to make.
Yeah, yeah. I think I did too. So
Okay. Well, if no one had one, it would have possibly been found. But Stavias, Bal has the bag, so you could just shove all your stuff in there.
I walk out with this giant, just mass of clothing.
I had the bag open. I'm just one hand backpack.
Do you steal all of his other stuff too? Or are you just taking everything of value?
Yeah. I throw the pistols in there, and then I take all of the books, and then is there a writing utensil around?
Probably. There's like pins in a drawer, and he probably has like some private business stuff, but not a lot because his business is basically gone.
So I open to the most salacious pages of these books, and I write property of Cynfrith, and then I sit them out like kind of around where we've kind of bound him, wherever it is, just so whoever, when they do get to him, they see everything.
Beautiful, because there might be a couple of books that aren't exactly allowed to be distributed because they're very, very, very problematic.
Woof.
Ooh,
Okay.
Adding on those charges.
This guy's horrible. That's what I'm saying as I'm looking through the books and just like scandalized by them.
Well, there's also one that's believed to be early propaganda for the shadow technocracy, so that was part of why they're like, nope. Because censorship isn't as much of a thing, but there are some things that are like, no. No. No one needs to read this.
That one, I'm just like, I just destroy that one. But yeah, other than that, I just pocket everything valuable that I find in the room, and then I go help Bal try and find his Tamagotchi, and I'm like, Bal, did you find it?
Find what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Are we still playing this game?
Well, Bal, what did you get again?
Only a 13 for my investigation.
And you're investigating the bathroom, right?
Anywhere I would think that he might have kept it. So I don't know. Yeah, so the bathroom, wherever, because I don't know. So I'm searching wherever. So probably the bathrooms, wherever the first room I would have seen. I'm like, I'll try here.
All right. We'll come back to you in a second. Vi, you got 18? Mm-hmm. Okay, and are you looking for anything in particular in the cargo hold?
No, there's not really anything. I mean, important looking items, but nothing specific.
Alright, I was rolling a d20. I'm like, if it's above a 10, she'll find things like this. And then I rolled a 10. I'm like, that's not helpful. But the second roll was higher, so there are quite a bit of rations, but as you open some crates, you find he seems to be stockpiling a lot of valuable materials that could be used for crafting. It's stuff you've worked with before.
Into the bag.
Yeah, you find metals, jewels, you probably find some medicines too, just like
yeah, I'll take those.
Medical supplies. There's probably some luxury items that are from the Alliance, as well as several from the Federation that he was probably planning to resell, not fully realizing he was reselling it where smuggled out of.
Yeah. Wait, what race was Cynfrith, anyway? Was he human?
I never actually decided, but...
Okay. What does Bal see? Because I'm looking at him right now. Like, what does Bal...
You probably see some signs that he is Promethean.
Think he's a Promethean? Everyone at that, too. He needs to lose some weight.
Do you just, have him, flung over your shoulder, or are you doing the fireman carry?
I'm just over one shoulder because I'm pretty strong either way. So just one shoulder.
So yeah, Vi takes all the things, puts them in the bag.
Yeah, Anima, you got 22 searching the cockpit. You find a couple of pistols there as well. You find some different navigation equipment. Bits and pieces that could be plugged into or used to build different kinds of devices or stuff that would be necessary for different ship repairs. So he's got some of that stashed there. You recognize some of it. It's mostly Alliance make because you don't want to use Federation stuff to fix your ship because it's not great and not compatible. He's also got the equivalent of like an e-reader. He's got a couple of those in the stack, some gaming consoles, something to watch videos on, and all of it's in pretty good condition, a little scratched up, probably from where he stole it from somebody. And I believe with the 22, you might also find, as you're starting to leave, something catches the corner of your eye as something that kind of fell on the floor and like slid partially under something. And it was almost hidden in the wires, but it's this small little circular gaming device.
My God, I was.
So, Anima, what are you doing with what you find?
I am going to take all of the ship parts and device parts and all of the things. Honestly, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take all of it.
Loot.
Including the little one on the ground?
Yes.
See the gaming console, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that a Playbox 27? Those are impossible to find.
Bal, roll a perception check.
Oh, me? Jeez. Okay, that's not going to be too high either. So that's only going to be a 11. I'm not rolling too well today.
Anima's not subtle as she picks up your Tamagotchi off the ground and looks at it for a second, like she's trying to decide what to do with it.
Bal's just like, be cool. Okay, just like, Anna, what is that? What is that you have there? Do you mind if I see that?
Do you want a thing?
What is this?
Oh no.
You want a thing?
I just handed it to Bal. Do you want a thing? Here's a thing.
Yeah.
Thanks. I have no idea what this is.
Like,
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I just don't know what this thing is.
I look at Bal and I'm like, oh, your Tamagotchi! Thank goodness.
Anima literally just shoves it at Bal and then goes back to get the rest of the tech.
Bal's too happy because he's like, yes, he's been beating it. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, oh gosh.
So he's not a total monster, he's just really dumb and does bad stuff.
Is your disciple dead, Bal?
No, he's fine. He was feeding him, so he's good.
Good, I was worried sick.
I think it's around this time you hear the sound of vehicles approaching.
Alright.
Are we just leaving him here?
Time to
Or
go.
should we leave him somewhere incriminating? I mean, we're...
I made a little effigy outside out of his private reading materials. So we could sit him in the middle of that.
Okay. Ooh, we can place a book in his hand.
When I hear that, I'm gonna go look at the ebooks and see what's on them. The e-readers.
I think you dumped them in the bag, right?
I did, but now I'm gonna go root back in the
she
bag
did.
and get...
Alright. As you're rifling through the bag, you hear the sound of a vehicle approaching, and you see it's like a security vehicle. Someone is here to collect Cynfrith, who is still very unconscious.
Yep, so we're gonna place him down right where they set up the books and everything for him. So I'm gonna set him down right there. Even prop like a book, even though his hands are cuffed, like, so like prop like a book, like somewhat in his hands.
Beautiful. I love the sheer amount of drama. It was a ground shuttle that was approaching, and you see a couple of people in uniform come out to secure him. There are some strange looks at the books. They just kind of like collect all of them at a stack and take it into the vehicle with them. And you hear another shuttle approaching, and Vae and Anima, you're familiar with what this one sounds like, because it's the one from the Opal Star and Spectra. Pops out of that one. Well, this went pretty well. Who are your new friends?
Vae's like,
Stavias is waiting to be introduced.
yeah, they're people that we just met about an hour ago. This is Stavias, I think, and Val.
Bal, but I mean...
Bal, I'm sorry, Bal. This is Bal.
Interesting. Who do you two work for?
Oh, well, that's an interesting question. I turned to Bal. Would you say we work for Dandelion, or would you say that Dandelion does us favors and connects us whenever we need it?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, we're not really on a job right now, so no one. Ourselves. We're self-employed.
I should probably actually describe who it is that is speaking to you, what she looks like. Because Spectra is an interesting individual. She's probably dressed in all black, just kind of nice. She isn't in her full Pirate Corps uniform, but she does have the jacket on. So, Bal and Stavias, you would recognize the Pirate Corps kind of like an unofficial military, except they just run around helping people. So, you would recognize that. Her skin is tinted olive green and gray. Her hair, it's streaked white, black, and red, and her eyes are bright blue. If both of you would like to roll lore to see if you recognize her.
No, I'm not going to. Oh, wow.
I got 13.
7. I've rolled like a 7 like so many times, like I think 4 times already.
I think you need new dice. I think Bal needs a nap.
I was more tired than I thought.
Stavias, you haven't met this individual, but they do seem familiar. Like, you've seen her maybe, like, in passing or, like, in pictures with other influential individuals, but you can't quite place where you know her from.
I kind of look at her and I say, I feel like you're an important person to know. And I look kind of at her garb up and down, and more importantly, you seem like someone my father would absolutely despise.
Depends. Who's your father? He may already, depending on who he is.
Does the Safi name mean anything to you?
She just kind of blinks in surprise. I never thought I would see a Safi on this planet, but we don't particularly get along, though I have helped some of his ships out in the past.
Well, famously, my father and I don't get along either.
It's true.
Fair enough. Vi, would you like to roll to see if you've learned anything?
Yeah.
Also, Anima, you can roll too to see if this name rings any bells.
Sure.
What would I be rolling?
Lore.
9. So probably not.
It doesn't ring any bells.
I also got a 9.
It sounds important, but it doesn't click. You're like, that sounds important. I don't.
Can I mental missive Spectra then?
Yeah? What do you say?
Spectra, who is that? What's the family known for?
Stavias, what industry is your family in?
Weaponry.
They sell weaponry, like defensive and offensive. They're above board for the most part.
That's what they all say, but thank you.
So yeah, Stavias looks at Spectra and says, well, I haven't spoken to my father in years, and I hate his guts. And you are important and someone that I would like to know. So, are you looking for any new members of your crew?
That very much depends on a few things, including what you would have to offer to my crew. And she's gonna insight check your response.
Stavias basically says, I'm good at talking. I'm incredibly powerful when it comes to... And then I kind of wave my hand around to make like a flicker of magic. And I am currently training to be somebody who's able to solve problems both offensively and with words. A ship of your caliber needs someone who can kind of act as, I don't know, who can act diplomatically. And I am very good at that.
Do you know what ship is mine?
Do I know what ship is Spectra's? Do I know the Opal Star?
Roll lore again.
Nat 20.
Woo!
When you think about it, it clicks in your head who you're talking to. You're talking to Spectra Lamorelli, the captain of the Opal Star. She's got some connections.
I know exactly who you are, and that makes this infinitely more exciting.
She just kind of thinks about it for a second and looks to Vae and Anima. It would perhaps be something worth discussing.
And then I look over, then I point over to Bal, and plus I have a giant lizard friend who is very good at hurting things that want to hurt my friends. Plus, he is my best friend and I am his.
We have one of those as well, but muscle's helpful to have.
I'll just show the rig, just like take out the cloak, and I'll let the rig be able to be seen for a quick second, then for covering it again.
Vae and Anima, you do recognize that it's a sentinel rig. It's not exactly the same as what Scorpia had, but it's similar. Perhaps we could go for a drink and talk through the possible details.
Perfect. I love drinks and I love details.
Vae and Anima, you hear in your head. I'll find the time to talk to you two privately. See what feeling you've gotten from these two.
She wants to talk now or later about that?
Unfortunately, I only have room for two, so Vae and Anima, do you want to come with me and I'll meet you two? Say about an hour in the bar. She names the bar that everyone met in the first time.
Ah, yes, the one you tried to kick us out of. We'll see you there.
I didn't know you then.
You don't really know us now, but okay.
But we're bonded together through this incredible experience.
Okay, we'll see you in a minute.
That slow blink is beautiful.
Ryan's unimpressed. She's not even trying to hide it. That's what she's like, really?
So yeah, I guess we can head back to the bar then.
Yes, and as you head back, Spectra is in the shuttle with Vae and Anima and says, So, I imagine you haven't known them very long. What do you think of them?
Bal seems reliable.
Yes, Bal is reliable. Stavias, they like to try to throw their weight around, get their own way. We actually met by them trying to kick us out of the bar, the same bar we're going back to. So that was a time.
They're a little loud, but I don't think that they're...
Yes, they enjoy talking, and talking and talking. But they are powerful.
Cut to us in our shuttle heading back to the bar. I think that Vi and I are going to be really good friends.
Oh,
You think that? We'll see, but
yeah, that's gonna, yeah.
I will say also, Stavias, you've also connected that there is a pretty high-level diplomat who shares the last name with Spectra.
All the more reason, you know?
Yeah.
Did you ever take a look at that letter yet that you received? Is it important? Or was it important, if you don't mind me asking?
It's nothing.
Does Bal know about that, or no?
I haven't talked to anybody about that. Not yet.
Cool.
You seem to get a lot of them around, so I am getting kind of curious. I mean, it's known each other for quite some time now, so just saying.
They do get them decently regularly, but always from the same person, who is more of an intermediary, but...
I mean, you know about my little secret. I pulled the Tamagotchi. I mean, you know about this, so I'm just saying, you know. And this is a pretty big secret, too, you know. This is, like, world-changing, so...
Stavias considers this and then just kind of looks at Bal and just says, there's someone important to me that I can't speak to in the traditional sense. So Dandelion is assisting me in doing that.
That you wouldn't even tell your supposed best friend? You wouldn't even tell, because you're the one who's all saying...
Yes, because you were so forthcoming with the Tamagotchi.
Well, touche.
And then panning back to the Karma Spectra. How's that conversation going?
I'm also, well, I think the only thing is that Vi would point out is can we fully trust the Stavias? Just because he did something with my mind. I'm not fully sure what, and I did warn him to not do that again. But what did you think, Spectra?
They seem an interesting sort. Well-intentioned, if not the best of decisions. Oh yes, they could be useful going on. Tell me when to pick up more crew. And it's better they learn manners on our ship than pissing off the wrong person.
I think they've done that already, but alright.
Probably.
And they're allied with Mrs. Yellow.
That is a point in their favor.
Yes.
And you've literally never heard anyone else ever refer to her as anything but Mrs. Yellow. Context for them calling her something else, and like she's never argued against it, but you know, she commands pretty much absolute respect in that building. What are your thoughts, Anima?
Spectra's kind of staring at Anima, trying to get her opinion. Anima's kind of like fidgeting a little bit.
You're parts of the crew. I want your opinion too.
I'm just trying to think of how to put my opinion. So, it would be a new magic user, you know, someone with more intense Esper abilities, and we have recently lost our resident Esper.
It's a true point. They're useful to have in the pinch. Though this one seems just as dramatic, if not more so than Ferida was.
I would say more so, but...
Ferida was pretty dramatic.
Yes, but she wasn't arrogant. There seems to be some times of arrogance.
Shan's face is
Shan.
Sorry, but Vi's gonna read arrogance of, like not even asking nicely, really, just being like, hey, leave. Vi's like, no.
Yeah, Anima's at least gonna try and be nice about it.
Yeah. But that could be just more me projecting with former clients then.
That's a fair point. What do you say we could at least give it a try, see how well they fit? Get them off this planet, and if it doesn't work out, we can find them work elsewhere. I know people. Apparently Stavias is very well aware of the connections I have, which is surprising. I'm not familiar with them in any of my circles.
Yes, that is disconcerting, but we'll see.
Depending on what they're interested in, it would make sense if they learned of me before I learned of them. It's a possibility.
They said they wanted to be the diplomat of the entirety of space.
That's not how that works.
I know.
I can admire them dreaming big with that goal. That also narrows down where they recognize my name from.
But are we going to have issues with the child of not an sort of an arms dealer, a weapons manufacturer on the ship, or are they strained enough that it would not be an issue?
Seeing as their family is rather public and I haven't heard mention of them in quite a while, and even before that there wasn't much mention, I don't think it's going to be a very huge problem.
They certainly seemed very upfront about their disdain for their father.
That happens sometimes in powerful families. Especially if they wanted to do something their parents didn't approve of, or there's just a lot of pressure. Also, it reminds me is we're at the point where you all can go wherever you want. You don't have to stay on the ship. Not kicking you off, of course. What do we want to do now? Something to think about.
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Neither do I. I don't even really have a mission at this point. I have a goal of sorts, but it's going to take time, so... And I have to read the book that I got from Sandro, so...
That's true. So I guess we stay together for now and decide later. Also, interested to have more of a conversation with our two new friends.
Is this just going to be the 5 of us, or with the entirety of the crew?
I'll see if I can get the others in, but they're usually rather trusting of my judgment.
Okay.
Also, like I said, this does not have to be long-term.
Just warning you now, though. There may be times where Stavias may end up outside of an airlock, if they are not careful.
Please don't.
Just a friendly
Please
warning.
don't. Please don't.
Space is a very good place to hide bodies.
You see her reach over and type in a message command to Nell to not give you any access to the airlock. Noted.
Come on, Spectra, you know what I did for a living.
That is true, that is why I should have done that earlier.
Oh, yeah. Anima, our conversation earlier, I almost forgot.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Before we have additional crew, I can clearly say this. I'm not a hacker. What I meant is how do I phrase this?
You made people spring leaks.
My primary occupation goes by a lot of different names, but one of the common ones is, well, assassin. I don't prefer assassinations, but I usually try to gather information, things like that. I can also be very persuasive, if need be, but that is my main job, and that's to some extent also what Farida's dad does, but it was a more legal route through it. Well, more governmentally approved route. Is that alright?
It's not like there were many options for you there.
True, and well, the one who got me into that life, my mentor, he was doing it to try to help me. Well, you know how much information was censored and suppressed in the Federation. And I needed information that was certainly never going to be published. It was never going to be public. And it seemed best for my mentor to sort of have me become his apprentice of sorts and help try to find out the actual truth.
And focus your anger so you didn't try and murder half the government in one go.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, that's why it can be hard with having friendships, because you never fully know if they're ever going to come back, or if just by being associated with you, they are in danger.
panning back to the other conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one, please.
So, Stavias, Bal, what are y'all talking about?
How long has it been?
It's the drive back to the Oasis, or like this could be when you're hanging out in your rooms.
I was picturing we would just go to the bar and hang out there until everyone arrived.
No, yeah, I feel like that's where we would be.
So yeah, I guess I just look at Bal and I'm like, so, do you think that it's a good idea to be going on the ship? I know I kind of pushed us into it, which I usually do, but...
I was gonna say it's a little late now to be asking the question, but...
You're not officially crew roster, so...
It's no sketchier than other things we've been in before, so I mean, they seem like decent people, at least from what I've gotten from them from that hour we've like kind of known them. So, I mean, I guess we'll see.
Spectra would be at least an important person for me to know, which could potentially help us move on to jobs that are, I don't know, better than the ones that we've had to take.
That's true. I mean, the last couple ones have been a little, especially the last one in general, not the best.
They've been bad, Bal. Our things were stolen.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I need to get you your clothes back too. I got them all in the bag, but
Well, keep them for now. If we're moving, then
true.
We wouldn't want to unpack everything.
Plus, it's not a lot of stuff to begin with.
Is your friend, are they in any sort of trouble?
I wouldn't say they're in trouble anymore, but we simply can't speak to each other.
I gotcha. Well, if they are in trouble, just let me know because, kind of decent at getting things out of trouble. So that's the only reason why I don't mean to pry too deep into it, but just saying if they are in trouble, I'll definitely be down to lend a hand if need be. So
I appreciate that, friend. I don't know, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I don't know if there's anything you'd be able to do for them, given where we're both at currently.
Well, then maybe being on the ship will help with that too, with that, the stats, whatever that may bring. So maybe this is fate.
Maybe.
Are you sure you're gonna be able to get along with, what was their name, Vae? I mean,
we're going to be really good friends. We're so alike.
When you say friends, what do you mean by? Okay, yeah, it'll be fine.
I think that our friendship will be aggressive, but one that in the end will be fruitful and very loving and something that we both need.
Okay.
Believe me, if there's one thing I know, it's people.
Yeah, you do know how to, sometimes rub people the wrong way, but yeah, you know what, I think...
That's not what I meant by knowing people.
Oh, I know. I know. It's going to be interesting, at least. It'll definitely be entertaining. So, I might even need my Tamagotchi to just knowing what you guys might get up to, so you know.
What do you think about Anima?
I'm a little more on the quiet side, but definitely more reserved. I thought Anima was pretty cool, They definitely seem more reserved like myself, which I definitely appreciate, especially with, people like you and Vae, so...
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't... No, I think they're pretty even killed, so I think they're pretty cool, so... That's not to say Vae's not either, but like I said, Vae's kind of like, you just a little more... Not brash, but, just a little more,
Keep in mind, they just met you. They don't understand the degree to which Vi suspects everything.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
You met them in a bar and then you went to beat someone up. They haven't... It's been an interesting thing.
But then Stavias gets uncharacteristically, serious and says, regardless, I think this will be good for us. I've got a good feeling about this.
Did you say that before we got our stuff stolen, though, too? I remember you saying, I got a good feeling about this, and then
Did we get our things back?
we did, and we got some other things too, so I mean, I guess...
And did we not find potential prolonged work, regular work, with a ship that has a reputation?
True, and a good reputation too, right? You said...
So, in a way, have I even been wrong this entire time?
I'll bite the bullet, you were right this time, and you said that reputation, right? It's a good reputation, right? Like a good, I mean, this is like good, like...
Bal, roll lore.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking Stavias. I know they know because they made inference like they know about. So that's what I was asking.
Oh yeah, Stavias, you haven't actually mentioned what the ship name is, have you?
Oh, you're right, I haven't. Well, Bal, we're going to be traveling on the Opal Star.
Now roll lore.
He pretends to nod. He
No.
pretends like, oh yeah, of course, like the Opal Star. Oh my god. Yeah, of course, the Opal Star. I have no clue that was in that too. Yeah, the Opal Star. Yeah, that like the yellow star. Yeah,
The ship that does the things.
shit. It
That's
moves.
a ship, and it flies through space and does things.
But just to make sure I have it correct, you want to just go ahead and explain just to make sure that you have it correct, and I'll verify. So.
Cool. So I guess, yeah, since I know from, obviously, my own experience, what does Stavias think the Opal Star's reputation is?
You know the Opal Star has been sailing for a long time. It's connected to a couple of other ships through family or friend relations. A lot of what they do, they have gone into several potentially dangerous situations to rescue people. The captain has also made a variety of historical finds that were very dangerous to get to, though that stopped a while ago. But since then, they've been pretty active about running in and helping people, and also sometimes hunting down dangerous individuals who can't really be rehabilitated. And you might also know, talk of the ship did kind of die down a lot in the past 5 years, but the chatter has kind of picked back up again.
So yeah, I relay all of that to Bal, and I'm like, see, it's not our end goal, but this is an incredible next step for us.
And very respectable too, which my family might appreciate. So no, I'm definitely down for this now, even more than it was before. This is because, like I said, reputation like that, something good, a decent reputation, probably one of the best ones we've been in contact with recently. So no, I think it's a great idea.
And the Safi family hates ships like this. So
Your dad thinks they're just ridiculous. The pirate corps just needs to be more tightly regulated in relation to their weapons and stuff, and yeah.
I also feel like Stavias' dad is just like the pirate corps is nothing but a bunch of people that like to play hero instead of actually doing anything useful in the galaxy, which is crazy to Stavias, because Stavias has always been super into learning about, that side of the alliance and that side of things instead of their dads.
The people that try and actually do good and make a difference.
Yeah.
Instead of just making money.
So yeah, I do think this will be good. I am worried. We've definitely messed up in the past, and I'd like to not do that with this one. When I say we, I've messed up in the past, and I would like to not do that with this one.
I'm messed up too, so I mean, I think I said, you already have the right mindset for it, so I honestly don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. I mean, you know what you want to do, you know what goals that you have, so I think you're going to be just fine, so.
Besides, Vi and I will be best friends by the end of this, and I doubt that she would let me get kicked off of the boat.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but I do like the
That statement happens right as Spectra's adjusting Vi's permissions. she can't, so that shipping,
Yeah.
I will make sure she doesn't space anybody.
But she knows that's not gonna 100% keep anything from happening. Just trying to keep as many options closed as possible.
Just like, if he springs a leak, we can fix that. If they get spaced, it's a little harder to fix.
But yeah, I think outside of that, I think that's when maybe Stavias would kind of just order themselves a drink and just kind of wait for the rest of the group to arrive, unless Bal has something.
Bal's probably gonna check on his Tamagotchi, make sure they're doing okay.
Play a little ditty on my woodwind instrument.
Is there a bartender in here? I mean, a stupid question, I guess, but is there...
Yeah, there's a bartender.
I'll probably chat with the bartender. What race is a bartender?
They're an Ashen Forge. They're friendly.
Yeah, so
Have a-
definitely keep a conversation.
For Vae and Anima, what are you doing when you get back to the Oasis? Or where does that rest of that conversation go? Or do we want to just have that fade into an awkward silence?
So we can fade into an awkward silence until we're leaving the shuttle, and then I'm gonna nudge Vi and be like, we can talk more later.
Alright. Can I do an
Alright.
insight check on Anima?
Go for it.
13. Mainly, Vi's wanting to know, if this... I guess... if Anima, has changed her opinion about Vi and everything. Just, how does she react to knowing that Vi is an assassin? Does that make her think less of her, or just, is it a lot to process?
Mostly, she seems fine and focused, but you can kind of sense a sadness that you don't necessarily know what to do with.
Okay.
Are y'all going back to your rooms, hanging out in the bar, hanging out somewhere else?
I mean, I'm assuming we're going to meet them at the bar, aren't we?
Yeah, well, Spectra said a little later, but also she's working on messaging some of the other crew to see who can get there in time for the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Let's have this. What if they just ditched us? What if they even lied that I'm going to come back?
Well, then we'll just drop a line to Dandelion and then see if she can get us on another ship somewhere else.
True. Okay. Good point. Yeah, I got the most important stuff, so just pat my pocket.
My clothing.
Oh yeah, I guess that too. Ooh, maybe they'll have uniforms on the Opal Star.
I guess Stavias is also Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek. I don't know what's going on with them.
You have been listening to Aboard the Opal Star, an Esper Genesis 5e actual play podcast DM'd and produced by Brianna Jean as part of Pseudonym Social, a creative podcast network changing reality one story at a time. Vilena is played by Alexis Workman. Anima is played by Casey Glover. Stavias is played by Shan Smith. Balamar is played by Blake Francis. And the theme music, as always, is by Patrick Chester of Chester Studios. If you don't want to wait to see what happens next, you can get early access to our episodes over at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. If you like our show, please consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcasting app so people can know where to find us. We couldn't do this without your help. To get more information on this or any of our other shows, check out our website at pseudonymsocial.com.